you, each and every one of you. Let's fight, folks. Let's fight. Good to have each and every one of you here, wherever you're joining us from around the world. Let's fight, guys. Great to see each and every one of you, whether you're on Twitter, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, wherever you are joining us from around the world. Welcome in the ring, welcome into the Coliseum, into the stadium. Good to have you, Leonard Fraser, and Eugene Williams. Good to have you as well. Paulette, good to see you, and David Ivor Hamilton. Cecile Oval, we see you there as well. How are you folks doing out there? We trust that you folks are well. Guys, what's happening at Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation? Do let us know. We want to know what's happening there. A lot of sad stories coming out of Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, guys. We got a sad one for you this evening. A family is looking for justice. A family is looking for justice. Great to have you on, Lester Wardine, Pauline Ward, Pretty Melissa. I see Samuel Jets is here as well, and I see Carol and Sharon Castle, Edwards. Akila Wright is here as well, and I see Yvonne Williams and Marcia, Gloria Gordon. How are you folks doing? Trust that you guys have had a fantastic day. Pace and power, boots on the ground. We are happy that you folks are here. Beatrice Selby, we see you there. Brenda Braffett, we see you as well. And Enid Miggins. How you folks are doing wherever you are joining us from. Welcome in the ring, folks. Everett Small, Carol Hudson, we see you there. Shirlene Juice, Etendry, good to have you as well. Roxanne Castle, Edwards, rock and come in, folks. Paul Niles, good to see you wherever you guys are joining us from tonight. Eula Lafferman Rubens is here. Jennifer Simra, good to have you. Share the damn light. Smash that emoji button, folks. And let's go down the road. Now, let me go down the road. Lots to share with you. Lots to share with you, folks. I'm telling you, lots happening at Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, and it is not nice. You know, we were going somewhere with the hospital. We'll pass a turn, but now them boys turn back, heading in the wrong direction. Andrew Griffith. Pace and power, folks. Pace and power. Good to have each and every one of you here. We have the fight card set. We're fired up, ready to go, and we trust that you guys are as well. Dan and Yvette and Andrew, and I see Charles, and good to have each and every one of you folks. Wilma Grant, and I can get it. I turn now. I sure know. Y'all just give me a warning when y'all spin me like that. I'm begging you. Give us a warning when you're spinning us around like that. Please and thank you. Give us a warning. Brenda Brafford, good to see you. And Wilton, good to have you as well. Sheila Hazel, Maxine Still, good to have you. Samoa Laundry, great to have you. And Kenneth Daniel, wonderful phrase. Some of y'all think, yeah, I just know. Did I see the rules? You're in the right place. Alan, you're in the right place. You're in the right place. Them boys come out. Them boys come out tonight. Good to have you, Michaela Andrew Coates and Yvonne Daly, Donna Payne, Eva Gordon. Good to have each and every one. You would trust that you guys are great. We're fired up. We're ready to go. We're just about 1,000 persons watching us across social media. We didn't give us one. We out here. We fighting. We're fighting Penelope Hudson, Edward Brooms, and Joe Robinson. We're going to be out here fighting, folks. We're going to be out here fighting. Good to have you. I see Ingrid and Marla is here. And Brent Mentor. Brent, I see you for a little bit. Brent, I haven't seen you for a little bit. We trust that you are well. Is that was some nonsense, you know? Is that was some foolishness? We trust that you're well. Brent, we trust that you're well. Father, help us with the service provider we got here over the internet. Please help us with the service provider. Leon Blair, good to see you, and Danette and Carol Hudson, good to see you. Dolly Anderson Linton, great to have you, each and every one of you. Trust that you guys are fired up and you are ready to go. The weather is good wherever you guys are joining us from. Pamela Halls, good to have you. Family, my grandmother's maiden name was Hall. Yep, it was Hall. Good to have each and every one of you. Family, you know, you all got an S in it, but, you know, S here, S there. You know, same thing, same difference. Hall is family, good to have you. Reynolds Warrell and Rhonda Spencer Thom. Good to have you, Rhonda, and all the other folks joining us. We got to fight card set, folks. We're going to pick your interest, whet your appetite, and a couple of things we want to share with you guys this evening. The students are doing us proud, Some of our students, let me qualify that. Some of our students are doing us proud. I saw some fighting there in the gutter. Fighting in the gutter. Now they said they are doing us proud. We can circle back to them. Roosevelt Scarrett, holding the book of books in the hand. I hope he mean well. Roosevelt Scarrett, holding the book of books in his hands. I hope he means well. We can talk a little bit about he. And then folks in Peru, culturally a beautiful culture. Beautiful country as well. Right? Peru, a lot of things happening there. A lot of things happening there in Peru. And then we got your boy Ben. All right. Folks, I got some nice things to talk about Ben tonight. Believe it or not, I have some nice things to talk about Ben. It's not because it's Christmas. I got one or two nice things to talk about Ben tonight, folks. And I tell you this, it is only because it is Christmas. No other reasons. Only because it's Christmas. We got the opener for you guys. We have the opener. We got the opener. And we can open this, cooks. We got the opener. Folks, thanks, guys. We got the opener. Folks, Magnum, DJ Magnum, before we head to the opener, right? Let me slow it down. Some of y'all always got to take your time on some things, Some things in life you got to take your time on. So DJ Magnum has a new song. Y'all heard it yet? Dark All Over. I think that's the name of it. Dark All Over. Right? Take a listen. We posted the link on our page. Tell us what you think of it. We love to see our artists. Whether you love them or not, that's not up for debate. We love all of our artists. And we love to see when they're producing music, when they're writing, when they're singing, they're beating the drums and so on. We love when they're producing. This seems to be a good song. It seems to be a good song. I not know line endings, Sharon Blackman. But it seems to be a good song. Folks. Take a listen to it. We posted the link on our page. Tell us what you think later on. Before you talk in, take a listen and you can tell us what you think. For the opener, folks. For the opener. I want to say kudos too to all of those persons who are working hard out there in the music industry and making a difference. Y'all don't bother with what's the fella name, folks? Don't bother with Natural Black, who said that we in there no place. Don't bother with Blackie. Don't bother he. Yes, you see, we going somewhere. Take a listen. Tell us what you think. Magnum and a whole host of other artists out there making a difference in this country. And, we have to support them. Take a listen to his newest song, folks. Dark All Over. Take a listen to it. For the opener, guys. Last evening, we were talking about the budget. We spoke with Kemraj Ramjitan, Ganesh Mahipal, and also economist, Elson Lowe on the economy. What we didn't play for you was Kemraj telling us why, in spite of all of these billions, since them boys come in, it's billions and billions and billions. Every year, every budget, every supplemental budget, it's billions. But we ain't feeling it. It's like the oil out there pumping. Right? But we ain't feeling nothing. When you're pumping, you must feel something. You're pumping out, you must feel something. Right? It's nice time. You must feel something. We ain't feeling nothing with this budget. Right? We ain't feeling nothing. Billions upon billions. Kemraj told us his impression of that. And why perhaps we ain't feeling nothing with this budget that is for friends, family, and favorites. This supplemental budget of 47.3 billion. You feeling that? No. We ain't feeling it. Kemraj Ramjitan.
Money is going to the wrong places. These monies are being given for what is called, as I understand it, largely for contracts and also to service the spendings of the various ministries and the departments and so on. What we need more for people to stop hurting are cash transfers in a very direct way and also very regulated and accountable. That's not happening. And the food prices are going up, the fuel prices are going up, and for the farmers, the fertilizer prices are going up. And so all across the board, you have massive, massive hurting as a result. The public service workers, their 8% have been literally dissolved as a result of the inflation and the high fuel cost and the high food cost and so on. And so that is why people are hurting. The management of the resources is what the PPP is failing. And they don't care anything. They don't mind doing certain infrastructural works, which are going to be in the billions and tens of billions of US dollars. US dollars. Look at that gas to shore thing. I know we heard of a geologist saying that this thing could affect our water supply system in the aquifers. You understand? But they don't mind. They're saying that it will be finished by 2024 December. And they didn't even do a proper design or environmental impact assessment. So they're throwing their money on big projects, and we don't know properly whether these things are going to be economically feasible and all of that. We don't even know the arrangements, whether we're going to get in natural gas, if it's going to be free, or if you got to pay for the natural gas and all of that. And these things, when we ask in Parliament, we are not getting answers. So it is a combination of unaccountability, a combination of frenzied discrimination in the way transfers are, the little transfers that are happening, because even when they said they give fishermen and farmers certain monies, it's only certain farmers and certain fishermen. And some people in the fishermen category are not even fishermen, you know. And this is what is fishing up the place, as it were. It is a stench. And the PPP creates it because, of course, they got so much money there now. And secondly, they feel that the opposition, they can do anything that they want with the opposition. It is not going to last long because people, because of that mismanagement of the monies, are going to get very angry. And that anger is going to then get people to be agitated, and the agitation can take us to a place that we don't want to be.
Agitation could take us to a place we don't want to be. That's what I want you all to know. That's what I want you all to know. And that was the opener, folks. That was the opener. We've been telling you little by little, and some of you actually listen. You aren't just hearing, you're listening little by little. We are heading over to YouTube, a more stable platform. I saw something swirling just now. I saw something buffering. Facebook for you. Doing the most, folks. So we invite you guys to make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. More and more, folks, we're going to be posting information here first. We're going to be posting information here first to YouTube, and then Facebook and getting left. But we love you guys on Facebook, nonetheless, and wherever else you guys are joining us from, bringing you in from around the world, folks, from around the world. Was there political turmoil in Peru? Good folks, in Peru, a day of turmoil. Basil Clark, Owen Bacchus, you hear me? Donald Ramachar tried something like this here. They walk out. They walk out here, they walk out in Peru. Neither, folks. Peru has a new president. The first female president of Peru, believe it or not, out Pedro Castillo in Dana Boulart. Out Pedro in Guyana. Yep, was that kind of day, folks, in Peru. Hold it right there for us, guys. Reuters telling us tonight, folks, was political drama like you've never seen before. Peru's Congress swore in a new president today after what Reuters is calling sweeping political drama, which saw the former leader, Mr. Pedro Castillo, ousted in an impeachment trial. After, listen to the Donald Ramachar move now. And lads, this effort to stay in power, he tried to dissolve Congress. Oh, y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? What was the name of it? Prorogue. Donald tried to prorogue Parliament did them too well. Well, this fellow here now, Pedro Castillo, he tried to dissolve Congress. Well, them lawmakers, the lawmakers, weren't having it. They ignored him. They ignored him trying to shut down the legislation. No. And listen to how the vote went with the impeachment. 101 in favor of removing him. 6 against, 10 abstention. And then the folks call for Dana to take over. That's how it went down. Brutal. 101 votes in favor of removing him. 6 against and 10 in abstentions. Wow. It's that kind of day in Peru, folks. The man tried to pull a Donald. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. It don't ever work out. We see the movie before. It didn't end well. Folks share the damn right. Smash that emoji button for us, guys. Down the road we go, folks. Down the road. It was a day swinging, apparently, because we're not bringing you in a bit in the region, folks, around the region. Bringing you in. Congrats to Dana Boluart there in Peru. New president, first woman. Congrats to her. Respect and manners. And may your tenure be long. May your tenure be longer, at least than your predecessors. Yep. It was that kind of day, good folks, around the region as well, because we're now in Dominican Republic there. And Roosevelt Skerrit is back as the prime minister. And not a lot of people too pleased at all. Remember, the opposition had some problems with their list as well. There, and Skerrit called a snap election. The opposition called the bluff and decided they weren't going to participate. They were not going to participate in the Dominican elections, and they held their ground. Nonetheless, somebody got to lead the country. Skerrit is back as Prime Minister of Dominica. Sworn in today. Yeah. Congrats to him. You know, the future as uncertain, as anything. Uncertain as anything. May his second tenure be far better than the first. A lot of political upheaval also in Dominica, and this is one of the things we're following. Yep, you didn't know what happened from Peru to Dominica, and you didn't catch a plane. Make sure that you guys want to partner with us so that we can continue to bring you folks valid and credible information. Always, all the time. Well, we can't talk, but people can talk about themselves. We got coming to 592, folks. And this, I think, is like the Team of Magnum song, Dark All Over. When you come into 592, it's dark all over. Dark all over. That's it. That's the theme of Magnum's new song, DJ Magnum, Dark All Over. You understand the times that he's singing? What's in the soul of the nation? Dark all over, folks. Hold on. We show you folks how a lot of things start. We don't always get the opportunity to show you how it's going, but we try, folks. You remember the woman who got murdered recently in Georgetown? Princess Street, folks. Princess Street. Hold it right over there for us, guys. Princess Street. Folks, something happening with we here, Something happening with us here. We're different in this place. We're different. We are different. This was Princess Street, folks. Right? Big Auntie, Mary Demise, not a relative. Keith Harris. Well, he was charged formally today with her death. Charged formally with her death. Folks, like we need let's dedicate all of next year, folks. All of next year to prayer and fasting. Formally charged. You remember, it was Princess Street, then we had Bushlot, and then we had Essequibo, Region 2. Formally charged, Keith Harris. Formally charged. Yep. That's how it's going down. That is how it's going down. Formally charged with murdering his aunt. Formally charged. Thanks, guys. And y'all know the anthem. Dark all over, get us a real place. It isn't. That's what DJ Magnum really said. It's not a real place. When you listen to some of the lyrics, well put together. Dark all over. It's not a real place. It is not a real place here, folks. It isn't. It isn't. Right? Remember, Auntie Betty, we told y'all, the facet who were with us this morning, right? We have to bring this one back now for those of you who didn't see. Who didn't win? Who didn't go? Auntie Betty, Symmetrous Shaw, there of Bushlot, who met her demise at the hands of conspirators, the great niece and the neighbor. I can tell y'all, it was three of them. Right? Essequibo, Bobis, and Georgetown. We just spoke about one. He charged with murdering his aunt. Now this fellow here, Muhammad Shahid, he's the neighbor who the great niece conspired with to kill Symmetrous Shaw, aka Auntie Betty. Right? To kill her. Now, the great niece, Ms. Basio, lived with Auntie Symmetra from time to time. Thanks, guys. Live in the lady house, eating your food, spending your money. And Muhammad Shahid told police that she was going to be evicted from wherever she is from originally. And she decided, being going on those streets, and being sharing the house with Auntie Betty Dido, and procured him, that's the legal word, procured him to commit this dastardly act. He says that for free, and she promises some money. He said, all right. And to tell the heartlessness, like it's nothing, you know, on that woman's 85th birthday, does it, you know, does it. He said, Basdio, what's her name? Shalini? Bring back up the graphic first. Left the back door open. He said he take a drink on the veranda next door. Right? That's a truism right there. Everybody who drinking and watching you from the veranda want the best for you. You know, some of them plotting for you. Some people plotting for you. That's why, you know. He said he had a drink. You see? And when it was 12 o'clock, he went over. The hour had arrived. He said he went over. Roshini Basdio is the great niece, also known as Mala. I never trusted Mala. The only Mala I ever trust. You see? Only Mala. Is Mala from Carmichael Street. I never trust another Mala. Right? Soon as I see she got Mala, she knows it's problem here now. It's problem here now. Roshini, the fellow, thanks guys. Muhammad Shahid said in his account, according to what he confessed, according to the police, according to Muhammad Rashid, according to the police, he said when he went over, here's the story now. He picked up a wood from downstairs. You think you know your neighbor? You better keep your doors closed and your windows bolted. He said he picked up a wood from downstairs. And he went upstairs. He went upstairs to where Roshini left the back door open. Big auntie, you know, she had to Trojan horse in her house. She feed him every day. Right? And the Rottweiler now gonna bite your hand. He opened the back door and he went inside. Roshini was in the back room. Roshini was in the back room. He stopped. And Roshini told him she's sleeping in her bedroom. And Muhammad Rashid said he proceeded to Symmetrous Shah's bedroom with that wood in his hands from downstairs. And he hit her in her head several times. Right? He hit her in her head several times, Carlin. The neighbor and the great niece, because she won the house. And he won the money. Right? But look the actress. Look the actress. Right? And the Best Actress award goes to Roshini Basdio. He said in his account, the morning after he went back home, he went back home and Roshini slept through with Auntie Betty dead in the front room. He said he heard the screams early in the morning, right? Roshini now playing she part, screaming for thief. Alleging that thieves had broken in and killed Samantha Shaw. That's what the man said in his report. He heard her screaming, Rashidi. This is how she get the Oscar now, screaming. Right? Imagine when he's screaming, frightened. The man that put the blows on Samantha Shaw. When he's screaming, frightened, he said he ran from the village until police apprehended him. Right? And the Kakamene story fell apart. That's what he said in his report. She procured him, he wanted the money, and she wanted the house and some scooter. And for 85 years of Auntie Betty life, could you imagine the times Auntie Betty feed a girl? She gives you a little passage, counsel share, and all of that. She know this can be the person here. You see Facebook now? You see how Facebook disrespectful? That's what I'm telling you. She know Auntie Betty, they know. Right? She didn't know it's Roshani. She didn't know. But look how much y'all going to sign up now for YouTube. Right? Facebook doing the most and trying to embarrass me. She didn't know. Our thoughts and prayers go to Samantha Shaw's real family. Because if I say family, I'm going to include now the great niece. The real family. The real family. Are you watching how many neighbors now sideways? Thoughts and prayers go to the real family. And we ain't get to the crux of the matter yet. 2,800 folks watching us around the world. We got some stories coming up will crawl your skin. You don't want to share the live stream then. I won't have to encourage you. I won't have to get a piece of stick and throw it out chest. I won't have to do it. Respect and manners though. It's good to see our young people coming up the right way, giving their energies and their talents to good activities. Respect and manners, folks. Respect and manners. It's heartening to see them. Look, come round West Dem funny. I didn't go West Dem this time. Don't come round them funny. There must be people. West Dem Royal Secondary School beat out a whole set of them, quote-unquote top school in the J.O.F. Haynes Memorial Debating Competition. I saw some young ladies the other day rolling around in the mud. Folks, hold on. We never went to WWE. If this is what they want to do, let me build a ring, make some money, and give them a career. But for the rest of our students who want to be involved in this kind of debating of ideas, they were debating ideas there in the mud. Yes. They were debating. Thanks, guys. They were debating ideas in a different way. Yes. One was trying to impress upon the others that our view was stronger. You know me, man. I can teach you. Money your skin. Right? These young people are debating differently. They're using their mind, their faculties, their brain power, their intellect, reasoning. Them guys are reasoning and they got to be sorry reasoning. There was brute force and ignorance. It's a comfort with which they were rolling around and they got it to crop my skin a little bit. I had to go and bathe with little Jake's fluid and stuff. It cropped my skin a little bit. I can't lie. When I see them rolling around in the mud, I say, my Lord. But respect and manners to the folks in West Dem. Big respect and manners. The success is not only theirs. The teachers that work with them. The teachers from West Dem that work with them. I want to say respect and manners to them as well. You all have done proud. You all have done us very, very proud. Keep the school flag flying high in this way. Nobody rolling around in the mud and carrying on like you're crazy. Please, don't do that. Don't do it. You see? Don't do it. Respect and manners to those folks there and all the students and teachers at the West Memorial Secondary School. I can see garnish those in the hair. Is that from, not West Dem Sec, but from Region 3. You see, Region 3 is really the best side, you know. But now it's in doubt since they carry the jumpy board over there. You see, since they carry the jumpy board over there, it's in doubt now. Y'all got a story for us? Let's come on for this quick for getting problems. Y'all got a story for us, folks. 627-6963. You got a story for us. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't keep it to yourself. You know what we can't keep to yourself? The fact that the Alistair Collins Forum is a good forum for all of your legal needs.
For all your legal document needs and more, the Alistair Collins firm is the place for you. If you are looking to have your statutory declarations done, affidavit of income, affidavit of identity, or guidance replacing your damaged or lost passport or lost license, you need the Alistair Collins firm. They can also help you with tenancy agreements, agreements of settlement, your power of attorney, your last will and testament, and certification of documents. The Alistair Collins firm is located at the Callion Mall, 162 Lamar Street in Georgetown between Camp and Waterloo Streets. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths to affidavits and a justice of the peace. You can also call them at 649-6410 or 685-6446 or 503-1451. The Alistair Collins firm. Help when you need it.
Yep. Folks, don't jealous Alistair Collins because thousands of people watching, you know, and being informed about what his firm can do. Book your ad space now. Book your ad space now. Your business, your product, your service can be right there. Do it now. 627-6963. Your event could be right there. Book your space now, folks. Don't waste time. Do it now, I beg of you. The big number is it tonight. The big number tonight, folks, is it. Candy Lillian and Jujit. Barbara, Sylvia Allen, Orindon Cook. The big number tonight, I would have you know, the big number is it. That's the Powerball, is it, folks? I will have you guys know on the 8th of February, the Court of Appeal in Georgetown will be hearing petition 88 on its merits. Petition 88. You see, they're going to look back and see, was Roxanne George right? Did she err in the way she arrived at her judgment? They're going to be looking at that. February 8th, petition 88. I find there's a ring to that. 888. What is 8? 8 is beginnings. What is 8? Right? And right now, 2,818 people are just watching us. You see that? That's a sign, you know. That's a sign there. 8. All right. 8. A lot of 8s. You see that? That's the big number. 888. I'd rather 888 than 666 anything. This year, Fernando is like 666. It's pure purgatory, a confusion powder. 666 all over them. Confusion powder, folks. Confusion powder. Big number is 8, folks. Here to February for the hearing of petition 88 before the Court of Appeal, folks. Turn attention now to them boys. Frank Clancy, the name calling. The Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation name calling. If you all know the CEO there, oh, tag them, the man. You know, you all know the mention them, tag them, the man. Oh, send them some pressure tablets tonight. The name calling, a lot of foolishness. You know, a lot of foolishness, folks. Oh, scraps. I tell you, I'm going to talk some good thing about Ben tonight. Look story now. Ben, Robeson Ben, about to pass out. You know it's Christmas. Well, I say something nice with Robeson Ben. It's not like I always talk bad with Robeson, but Ropey. But there's just nothing good to talk. You see, if crime was under control, serious and otherwise, right, and we were doing well, you know, we could have said things different because there's nice thing. You know, I want to pretend two money change and then get robbed in American Water Street. One was shot. I want to pretend. You see? Them boys getting more brazen because they know they deal with the Pagli minister. They know they deal with the Pagli minister. That's the problem. But I'm going to be easy for me tonight. Because they're telling us now, you can pay for your services at the General Registrar's Office, like your birth certificates and so on, not bribe. Your birth certificates and so on, via the MMG service. As a matter of fact, it will prevent bribery through the MMG service, folks. And after the program, we are going to put out a link that you can, apply for MMG. And also, through the Immigration and Passport Office, you can pay for your passport now via MMG. Right? But look story here, man. Hold on. Look story. I'm just talking about crime. I see we doing it, Ben. I see we doing it. Bring it back, guys. I see you Ben doing it. Hold on. Ben think he's smart, but we aren't he. Ben don't want to work harder. He trying to work smarter. He understand if you go there with your money, then buys your rabio. So don't carry cash. Go MMG. Right? Go MMG. I see we're doing it, Ben. Right? Ben, he can't win the fight over there. He doesn't have the competencies. He doesn't have the capacity, the testicular fortitude. So he gone the easy way, but it's a good way. It's a good way. More of you got to go cashless. More of us got to go cashless. Right? The more of us got to go cashless. And GT didn't pay me for this. I mean, they should. But the MMG app is one of the ways you can easily transfer money, buy stuff, without walking around with a big set of cash, with a big signboard and you rob me. And then telling you now, I can't protect you, go in this direction. But I'm happy to, because it lends to efficiency in the system. You pay quick and you're gone. You don't got to see nobody sour face, nobody got vexed with you, talking on the phone long, and you waiting for your service. You pay quick, you beat out. MMG, we're going to put a link on our page in which you can apply for the service. Right? And more of you have to do that. You live in Guyana, apply for it. Apply for the MMG service. I think it's free. It's a free service. It's a digital wallet. You keep your money digitally. Right? Them guys coming down with a field pocket this season. Right? Nothing for them because your money stored in the cloud. It's not over. It's not over. It's stored in the cloud. Oh yeah, like how dramatic. And I'm a silk in my jacket showing. Why y'all like it's real heavy? You see, it's rich businessmen is buying me suits. Rich black businessmen, according to Freddie Kisoon. Right? I did it purposely for your show. You see, I ain't stole this from the Carnival Hormones. God rest the dead. It's proper thing to say. Folks, we are going to have the link for you. Look out for it on our page after the program. Going directly exactly what you need to do to apply for MMG. More of you need to do it. More of you need to do it. You see? Thanks, Ben. You all heard that? I strain to say that. I strain to say those two words. Thanks and Ben. Yeah. I feel like Wednesday in that Netflix hit. It's like Wednesday trying to smile. That's how they hurt me. That's how thanks and Ben hurt me. You see? But we can give credit where credit is due. This is a good step. Some of y'all think this is okay, though. Don't think GT can thief me money out. I keep burying it in the backyard. Don't end up like some people know. Y'all living must be watching y'all. Y'all living must be watching y'all. I'm planning for y'all. Keep burying it in the backyard. That being said, folks, as we on Ben, while Ben was out there around the Ben, launching the MMG for the post office and for the GRO's office, for the passport office and the GRO's office, them boys, fires on the PPP, folks. It's fires and rumors of fires. It don't get any easier. Fires and rumors of fire, folks. They had a fire scare at Home Affairs. A fire scare at Home Affairs. The MMG hits you too hot to handle. We can post a link and give you guys the hookup to make sure you apply for MMG. We can post a link just after the program on our page. Look out for that, folks. The fire alarms went off at Home Affairs today. Initially, they said people thought it was party bells because they said Ben gone. Right? And you know, Ben is a heavyweight. Right? Quote unquote. People initially thought it was a party, the staff threw because they had Ben gone out, you know, and actually do some work. He got to launch his thing. Boom, is fire. They said that a light in the building started to emit smoke and so on. And at least the fire service did better this time than with the headquarters across the road of the Guyana police force. With the the Region 4 headquarters of the Guyana police force in Brickdam. They did it better in the response time. They were there, you know, checked out the problem, and the building was evacuated immediately, and things went back to normalcy, right? And no minister went out there and stare and look and, you know, was helpless, right? So we're happy for the outcome. But fires and rumors of fires of the PPP folks, fires and rumors of fires, right? Look, so we're coming down to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. We're coming down, folks. We're coming down. Don't go nowhere. You don't want to stay. You don't want to stay. We're coming down. Hold on. Brace it over. But look, the hypocrites now. They run out. Look, the hypocrites. They run out. You know, every time I see Vindia and gender-based violence, I get vexed. Right? Not vexed to do violence, but I get vexed. The GDF underwent gender-based violence training. You know, 16 days of activism internationally. In Guyana, 16 days of hypocrisy. And y'all know why I say that. Because O.C. Rogers happened. Bishop of Women in Bar Settlement. Vinian said a word. Right now, every night, guys, come back to us. When you're home like this, oh God, don't let them buy some PP step out the line in the 16 days. I ain't want to say nothing publicly. Don't let them shame me. It's 16 days. Oh, Father. Don't let them step out the line. Let the damn lad stay in the car. I beg you. Don't listen to the National Assembly. Oh, please, Kwame. I beg you. Every day. That's how Vindia said. Don't let things go into solicitation for your uncle with no Starbucks news, with no cultural news staff. Oh, I beg it. You see? Because they know there's hypocrites, Jebusites, Pharisees. That's what they are. Right? That is what they are. Hypocrites, Hittites, Parasites. That's what they're hypocrites. They'll do happen. None of them said a word. Ozzy Rogers happened. None of them said a word. You go on with the list of gender-based violence, of violence against women, whether parliamentarians or otherwise. Beating up of women, ill-treating of women. None of them say a word. And now, 16 days of activism, the hypocrites come out for photo ops. Hypocrites! That's what they are. Fight me! That's what I want you to do. Fight me! Brace it over now, folks. Brace it over. We just park up by Georgetown Hospital. Be there. Folks, we just park up by the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. And look story now. Reports are that Question Benjamin was in an accident, and for 6 days, Question Benjamin waiting for some life-saving surgery at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. Brace it over right there. For 6 days, he waited at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. According to the reports, it is alleged for 6 days. For 6 days, he waited. Right? He was admitted on November 21st, seriously injured, and his family alleged that he was left on a bed there for 6 days without any surgery performed on him. You see? His relatives said he passed away on December 5th. The whole of this in uproar over this. Well, the other side of this is that the hospital is saying, according to them, this is how they can try to make a kerfuffle we know. With reference to the social media post being circulated, which purports that a patient in need of surgery was admitted on November 21st and left unattended, resulting in his demise, GPHC wishes to discredit these claims. Of course, we'd expect nothing less. The corporation, I thought was the confusion, also encourages the public to desist from publishing claims based on partial information. So he died from natural causes. He died from natural causes. Right? Then you see he had COVID and plenty of other things. The family said it was neglect. That is what they are alleging. It was neglect, folks. Thanks, guys. That is what his family alleges this evening. But y'all think that's the done? Huh? Y'all think that's the done? Hold on. Folks, y'all think that's the done? Coming on the heels of the Quaison Benjamin story and of how he was left unattended at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, and what the family is alleging led to his demise, we spoke to a young lady, Lynn Metford, stricken by grief, in shock, because her father, she alleges, was similarly abandoned as a patient at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. Damning allegations. She sat down and spoke with us recently about how her father met his demise. And quite strangely, it's around the very time Quaison Benjamin was reaching his demise at the same institution. So everybody wrong. And Georgetown Public Hospital, right. Everybody wrong about how their patient, their loved one, their sibling, their father, their brother, meeting their demise at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. And Frank and them boys, they're right. Folks, brace it over. Brace it over. And listen to Lynn Metford in her own words, about what transpired and led to the demise of her father at the very institution and at the very time Quaison Benjamin met his demise and under the similar circumstances. Lynn Metford.
Imagine walking into a hospital room and finding your father or finding your relative hung over, dead. It was obvious that he was dead for a couple of hours. Imagine being told that he was calling for help. The nurses were ignoring his cry. The patients in his room was giving him aid in an institution where my father believed in. I was taking him to a private hospital on the day he was admitted, and he turned me around. He stood up in the seat of my car and he said, "Take me to the public hospital," because he believed in the public system. And this is what became of him, because he believed in the public system. When we did the ultrasound at the private hospital, we could have continued and had to have the CT scan done as well to have him get an immediate response. But he believed in a public system that failed him. He sat there for 2 days. He was not looked at by a doctor. I prayed for someone to prove me wrong, that they were standing there looking at my father and I wasn't sitting there at my father's side. They did not feed him. The medical report said he was fed a bland diet. No one looked at my father. I tended to my father when they gave him animal and he was in a terrible state on the bed. I went to a nurse. I said, "Nurse, no one is looking at my father. Can I help?" She told me where to get the material to change him and diaper and stuff. And I did that. I did that in the emergency room. No one was looking at my father. My father was, if anyone has gotten a broken car mirror, you would have at some point had some business done with the Mirror Man. The Mirror Man was my father. He was a public servant. He believed in serving people, and he, I would say, he believed in the public system, the public hospital. This was unjust. We need answers. We need accountability. That's the word for today, accountability. And we need people to, we need an institution, a hospital that is hospitable. They have no hospitality there. They have no empathy. The emergency room, the way you speak to someone, the words that you choose to use on a sick person can determine if how they recover. But they have none of that. Training, proper training. But again, accountability. A life has been lost, and it's not the only one. But I will make sure that this doesn't go under the table like others. My experience at the Georgetown Public Hospital was one of horror, and definitely something that should ignite some kind of change at that institution. On the 7th of November, on the afternoon of the 7th of November, I took my father, Leon Medford, to the emergency room at Georgetown Public Hospital. He was complaining of back pains, of a prior surgery. That's what we thought it was. But obviously you would go to an institution to find out what really was causing the ailment. As we arrived at the emergency room, he was triaged and he was taken to the trauma room. From that afternoon to 4 a.m., my father was not looked at. He was given painkillers, and he was checked in once in a while from the nurses, but I had no idea who his doctor was. I had no idea what was to expect. I didn't know if he was admitted. I didn't know if, what to expect. At 4 a.m., I left the ward after tending to my father. I left, and on my way home, I was called by him to say that he was put off his bed. The bed that I made for him and set for him, he was put off he was put off the bed, and someone else was placed on his bed. I immediately went back to the hospital with another set of supplies for him, and found him on another bed, lying cold straight. So we prepared that bed for him, leaving the other material on the bed with the patient they placed, and he was in a really calm state, so I remained calm for that moment. At around 8 that morning, I remember a group of doctors. At that point, I didn't know they were surgeons, but they came through the ward and they were checking patients. However, they stopped at a woman next to my father's bed and then left. At that point, I had no information from the nurses or doctors in the ward as to who was tending to my father or what we were waiting for. I consulted with the nurse and I said, was my father to be checked? What is happening? At that point, she told me that he was admitted, but there were no beds in the male ward upstairs. So I said, could there be a chance that he wasn't checked? She said, I don't know, ask his doctor. I said, who's his doctor? She couldn't answer. No one in the ward could tell me who was my father's doctor. However, at 3:30 or so that afternoon, all day, he was given painkillers. At 3:30 that afternoon, I spoke with a doctor, and she said he was now going to be taken up to the male's ward. I said, are you his doctor? Are you now looking at him? She said, yes. I got her name, and they took him up to the male ward. At that point, I was informed that I couldn't stay at the hospital because they had specific visiting hours and I had to leave. I asked her, I said, I was here all day, the day before, so I really need to have some time to go and come back so that I can make him comfortable. I left and I came back at around 5:30. When I returned, my father was lying there. He couldn't respond. He had a lisp. He couldn't move. His condition got worse. I noticed that his tummy was swelling and it had a strange, color to it. So I called the nurse immediately and I said, listen, my father's here and I think he's experiencing something that he hasn't before since he's been in the emergency room. And she checked his tummy and she confirmed that it was a bit strange and stiff. I said, could you call a doctor? She said, no, the doctors come the next morning at 9. I said, but he's in a condition where it could be fatal. It could be an emergency. She said, well, she can't do anything. She has to wait until the next morning when the doctors come through the ward. With that, I was told that I needed to leave the male surgical ward, and I because of the visiting hours. I left my father there, and I, just out of instinct, I took 2 numbers of the patients sharing the room with him, 2 phone numbers. At 9 that night, I called to check on my father, and he was in a deep sleep, one of the patients said, and I still couldn't understand what he was saying. They said he was getting saline. So with that, I went to bed. At 4 something that morning, I was called by a patient in that room, in my father's room. And this is exactly what he said to me. He said, girl, come down to this hospital. One of you need to come, because for the last couple of hours, we've been calling these nurses. Your father has been on the floor, hollering for pain, vomiting. I took my tube out. I went over to him and helped him back on the bed. But, he's still hollering for pain. None of the nurses are coming. We're calling now. These nurses are just about a few yards away from this door. They can see in the room. So they must have heard these patients calling. And this was an account from 3 of the patients. So with that phone call, I left and I went to the hospital. I walked through. The security was sleeping. We went upstairs because at that point I was nervous. I wanted to know, because he said that my father he wasn't moving. I think you guys should come because he's not moving. So we got into the ward, and where the ward is, you can stand at the corridor and you can see the door to the room, and you can see the nurses to your right. So I could have seen my father on his bed. As I entered that room, he was slunched over, hanging over, half of his body off of the bed, his head almost touching the floor. He had vomit through his mouth and nose. His eyes were opened. He was clutching the bed as if he was trying to raise himself back up. And he was stiff to touch and cold. At that point, you just knew it. He was stiff. I got startled and I ran out to the room. My sister was there with me, and she called for the nurses. At that point, none of the nurses were in the room. They did not come. The attendant that was there helped her. And then she said to us, she said, I cleaned this man's vomit 3 times. I came in here and I cleaned this man's vomit 3 times. On the 3rd time, I called these nurses and none of them got up to help him. I myself cleaned it and I helped him. With that, I ran out at that point. I didn't know what else transpired, but my sister said that they raised him up and they tried to straighten him out and clean him up and put him nicely on the bed. At around 10 that morning, I proceeded to the complaints department and I made a detailed complaint about the scenario. But before that, when we were back up in the ward, attendant came to me and she said she's doing an investigation. Whenever someone dies in the room, she would come and she would do a prior investigation. She asked me questions about my father, and then she proceeded to look for his medical chart. At that point, there was no chart for my father in that ward. She couldn't locate it. No one knew where it was. She wasn't the only one checking, because we spoke to the head of the nurses there. She was looking for it as well. So when I went down to lodge my complaint, I told them about it. And I went to the several departments in the hospital looking for his chart. It was not found. For that entire day, I stayed at the hospital. I was back and forth because I knew that was going to be a very important piece, to understand what happened to my father, what was last given to him. On that morning, after I made the report, I was taken up to one of the ladies taking the report, called the doctor. And I was told who the doctor was. That was the only time that I knew who my father's doctor was. We went to speak with him. It was actually a group of men who I remembered being in that ward. And he said to me, so it was pancreatic cancer. So I said to him, he was never diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He said it's something very, very difficult to treat. and sometimes it can cause a lot of back pain. And I said, so what's next? Do we do a postmortem to find out what it is? And he said yes. So the postmortem was ordered, and we had requested to have an independent pathologist or someone neutral to the hospital to be present. But that request was never granted to us for some reason. But going back to the conversation with the doctor, he said that he turned to me and he said they checked him twice. I said, at what time did you check him? Because I was there with my father all the time. He said when he was there was another lady sitting with my father. At that stage, I became so upset. But I kept my calm because I knew there was going to be a time when he would have to prove that he and his colleagues did indeed check my father, and they did not, and they diagnosed him for pancreatic cancer. Now, I can say where that diagnosis would have come from because the prior examination, he did a test at a private hospital. He did an ultrasound that requested him to do a CT scan. The ultrasound said he had a mass on the head of his pancreas, but they needed to conduct a CT scan to decide whether it is cancer or not. That test result was given to the hospital on that Monday. And from that point, all I kept hearing, and they kept referring to my father as a cancer patient. And I kept saying he was never diagnosed with cancer. Could you guys do the CT scan? The CT scan has never been done on my father. I don't know what they treated him for. I don't know up to this day. We were told that in order to get a medical report, we would have had to send a lawyer's letter, and that was done. And we only received that report yesterday. Now, he died on the 9th, and we received it yesterday. We have full intention of going forward with a lawsuit against the hospital. We need accountability. I need to know what happened to my father. I need to know what he was treated for. I am pretty sure he was misdiagnosed because of how and what the doctors were telling me while I was there. And I need answers based on the postmortem that was done. There's no report on the postmortem. It was inconclusive. To this day, we do not have a death certificate. We were only given a paper or permission to bury him. My father is buried, and we're not resting until we have answers. We're not resting until people are held accountable, and we're not resting until there is some sort of institutional change at that hospital, because we're not the only ones. We're not the only ones, but we're going to be the voice that will create a change, and I will not rest. Since my father's death, and I've spoken to my family, I said we needed time to mourn and to recover. So we have given the institution enough time to answer our concerns, to respond to the allegations or the concerns that we would have had based on his experience and my experience at the public hospital. Thus far, we've been getting a major pushback. People are feeling offended. We have asked to speak with the minister, and we're still waiting for a response on that. So I think we have given the Georgetown Public Hospital a fair chance to settle this matter and to give the family some sort of comfort in the fact that he was neglected and he died under their watchful or under their care. So it's been a journey that's been very hectic for us, and it's not simple when you are mourning the loss of a loved one. You don't have answers. To this day, we don't know what my father died with. We don't have a death certificate. They have taken samples of his organs, and they've told us that it takes about 6 weeks before they can get back to us regarding anything that's been found. We are waiting, and we need to have answers. Imagine walking.
Told you brace it over. We told you brace it over. GPHC, Frank, your name calling. Your name calling, folks. His name is calling. Lynn Metford, in her own words, strong allegations, in her own words, her truth. in her own words. Family mourning the loss of the breadwinner. Why? You heard her story. You heard her story. You have a story for us, folks. We want to hear from you. You got a story for us? 627-6963. 627-6963. You have a story for us? Do let us know. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the entire Medford family and their community for the loss of their loved one. A husband, a father, a brother, a friend. Thoughts and prayers again to their family and to the community. Thoughts and prayers, guys. Our thoughts and prayers. You got a story for us? Let us know. 627-6963. That's the number you want to send a message to us in the 21st century. Message we. That being said, folks. That being said, thanks, guys. That's our time. And that's our program. That's our time. And that's our program. We leave you with some scenes of Christmas. Thoughts and prayers to the Medford family. That's our time.